Good morning and welcome to the video for Monday, June the 1st. This is going to be our video for 4th graders moving into 5th grade. Alright, so one of the first things that's going to happen in 5th grade is that we are going to be working with place value. And we're going to be working on it in a way that we haven't done before. This is going to assume that you're already comfortable with the idea of adding and subtracting using place value. So let's talk about what that looks like real quick, and then I'll show you how we're going to be expanding on that. If we were to go ahead and represent our ones column with 1 blocks, our tens column with the 10 blocks, hundreds column with the 100 block, the cube for 1,000. If we went to 10,000, we would have a row of 10 of these cubes. And then if we went to 100,000, we would have something that looks like this, or a flat block, but representing 100 of these cubes. So what we're working with is multiplication by 10. And so we'll refer to that as powers of 10. So our first power of 10 would actually be 10. It would be the result of 1 times 10. If we don't have a 0 at the end, then we would have a 0 value for this. So it would be the same thing as 1 times 1. Going back to 3rd grade, one of the things that I told you could do is take a number that you're multiplying it by 10 and just write it down and put a 0 at the end. And you could do the same thing for hundreds. You would put 2 zeros at the end if you're multiplying by 100, 3 zeros at the end if you're multiplying by 1,000. This was to kind of prepare you for this particular moment. It was an easy way to explain things so that you could do it in your head without having to write it down, but it also prepares us for this. What we're working with would be, we're going to take a number and we are going to multiply it by 10 to a specific exponent. So our exponents would be the number that comes up and to the right here. The exponent, when we're working with a base of 10, is going to be the number of times that we multiply 10 by itself, which could also be represented as the number of times that you add 0 at the end of the number. So if I wanted 1,000, I would have 3 zeros at the end, and that would be 10 to the 3rd power. So if I took, let's add a number here, if I do 5 times 10 to the 3rd power, then it would be the same thing as multiplying 5 by 1,000, which would give us 5,000. Now, there's another way that we can do this too. And as we get later into the school year, we will be working with this as well, and it would be negative powers of 10. So if you imagine that we take this idea that we're working with and we add extra rows, and so we could say that we would have 0.1 here, and then 0.01 here for hundredths, and 0.001 for thousands. As we are moving this way, we are going to have a larger value for our exponent. As we move to the right, we would have a smaller number. So for instance, 10 to the negative 1 power would be the same thing as multiplying something by 1/10. Multiplying it by 10 to the negative 2nd power would be multiplying by 0.01 or 1/100th. And 10 to the negative 3rd power would be multiplying by 1,000th. There will be a lot of things that we work on in 5th grade. And this was one of the things that my group last year really kind of, some of them really ran with it quickly and some of them really struggled. So I just want to give you a heads up for that. We will be using those strategies all throughout 5th grade, and you'll use it again in 6th grade. So I want to give you an idea of what that would look like. So if you want to try this at home, what I would recommend you do is go ahead and make that place value chart. You could take coins or any other kinds of counters and just pick a specific place value and put a couple things down and see how you can go ahead and get to that number. So I could say that if I put 5 tokens in the 1,000s place, that would be the same thing as multiplying 5 times 10 to the 3rd power. Or I could do a couple different things as well. I could say that it would be the same thing as multiplying 50 times 10 to the second power, because if I start with 50 and then I multiply that by 100, that also gets me to 5,000. So those are little things that you can practice that they're going to ask you to do in some of our math lessons in Go Math. So hope your summer is going well. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope this helps for you understanding one of the concepts we'll be working with in 5th grade. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.